Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your main man, Coach E, coming at you with call number 5. So, we're going to dive straight into it. If you are watching the replay, then you're here, you're good to go. And we're going to talk about sleep today. So, before we get started, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the other stuff, right, to make sure that you're all caught up with everything. And then we're going to talk about why sleep is so important here in week 5. It's one of my favorite, actually. Sleep is like my favorite subject. I can't get enough of it. But before we get this thing started, we need to make sure that everything else is in place. So I'm pulling up the Healthy Lifestyle Blueprint. We're going to switch this over right here. There we go. All right. So y'all, if you haven't done this already, remember to fill out, right, what would be an overall, what are you expecting overall in these 6 weeks, right? How ready, how willing, and how able are you to change? And then what changes are you looking forward to? What is it that you're expecting? If you haven't already, check into your 5 whys. Why did you join this challenge? What are you going to do for it? And what did it lead to, right? For the example that we have right here, I want to get in shape led to I want to lose my gut and maybe build some muscle in the upper body. That led to because he wants to take his shirt off at the beach, which led to that person wants to feel good about themselves, which led to they want to be more assertive and confident, which led to they want to feel more in control and able to get what they want out of life. Just from getting in better shape, right? So finding that helps you find your why, which all in all ends up helping you formulate your goal, which pulls you rather than you having to push, right? Because pulling is a lot easier than pushing is. We've had week 1, which is all about scheduling your classes. We've had week 2, which is all about movement, getting out and doing 5 minutes of exercise outside of the gym. We've had week 2's review, right? Week 3, we went past that 2 weeks ago, right? So we have 80% full, eating undistracted for 15 minutes at least. This past week, messed that up a little bit, right? This past week, what it's all about was hydration, right? Getting enough water in, making sure that we're drinking enough, that we're staying hydrated, we get plenty of energy. And check out that last video if you haven't, right? There was no homework this week. So before we get into week 5, we want to make sure that we have our weekly review. I'm going to send this to you, the weekly review. We're going to have it over email. Don't check the Facebook group. And I want to know what were 5 wins this week. They don't have to be gym related, but think back and what were 5 wins and think about those and really write them down or really think about them and say them out loud. Saying those wins makes such a huge difference, y'all. It changes your perspective. It places you in a place of it places you in a spot in a state of gratitude, and it prepares you for the next week. Like you can build on those victories. So rather than focusing on the hardships of this week and the stresses, you change your perspective and you shift and you focus more on the positive here. How are you going to improve in the next week? Is it going to be organization? Is it going to be maybe improving your eating, getting enough water? What is that one thing that you're going to do to get 1% better? In your personal life, in your work life, in your family life, in your friend life, in your gym life, what are you looking forward to? And it doesn't have to be challenge related. You know, what is it that you're looking forward to here? Let's switch me back over. What's up? So next up, I'm going to send that to you. We want you to fill it out. And what it does is it just places you in a better state. And that's what we're looking forward to, is building on those successes. Life is so stressful. Life is just complicated, and then things in life like the news, right, they put us in this state of worry, and they can really form and bring about drama in our lives. And when we focus on that, we bring more of that into our life, and that's not something that we want to end up doing, right? Or maybe you do, but I wouldn't know why. So week number 5, check it out. It's all about sleep. Yes, I'm excited, right? Too excited to sleep. Week 5, we're going to develop a sleeping ritual. Great sleep doesn't happen. We are blessed to make it happen. Turn your phone off and any screens before bed. Take a shower. Plan the next day. Dump your day into a journal. Spend time with your family. No TV, or try not to have TV. Choose 1 or 2 of these things for a good night's sleep and still keep doing your past habits. Sleep is crucially important, and I have a special guest that's going to come here from one of my online courses, and he's going to tell us why sleep is so important, especially for fat loss here in a second, and then we're going to go over a few tips. But why is sleep important? Y'all, what we do in the gym is crucial, right? It helps sculpt muscle, we get stronger, we get more energy, we become more athletic, we become more mobile. All these great things happen when we're in the gym. However, those things cannot take place, right, in the gym unless you get your sleep, unless you recover enough, right? So in the classes, you may notice afterwards I say, like, get your protein, get your vegetables, get your water, make sure you get all these things. And occasionally, right, maybe not, I'm going to start doing it more, but your sleep, you want to get enough sleep. And sleep is crucial for recovery. Now, it's not just resting and sitting there and not doing anything. It is actually sleep and proper quality sleep. When you sleep, you go through different cycles, and we're not going to go deep into those, but if it's light sleep, right, which is, I believe it's light, it's REM, and then it's deep. I could be mistaken, right? But if it's light sleep, then you're not going to recover quite as much as you normally would be able to if you were in either a REM cycle or if you were in a deep sleep. There are different things that happen at those different stages, and sleeping deeply doesn't just occur. You see, we are creatures that are affected, that our environment affects us. That didn't even make sense, but our environment affects us in such a way that it affects our sleep too. We don't just forget about things, right? They stay on our mind, they bubble, stresses throughout the day, they hit us on the inside as well as they hit us on the outside. And what that means is that stress can actually affect our sleep. So maybe you've had those restless nights. Maybe you're a business owner and the stress of owning a business has got you. Maybe your relationship has kept you up at night. Maybe you just couldn't sleep because you had too much energy. We're going to find strategies, and we're going to talk about strategies in a way where your sleep can actually improve, right? Where you can do things to make your sleep better. And before we actually get into those couple of different things, I'm going to let our main man talk about this, talk about our sleep. Now, who's our main man? His name is Shawn Stevenson. He is part of this program that I have called The Complete Guide to High Performance. Now, the things that we talk about here and what we're doing is they're related to, there we go, to being a high performer, right? To stay your most productive, to stay on top of your game, to be on, I would say, 90 to 95% of the time, because we all need times of rest and we can schedule those. And what high performers do is they analyze different pieces of their life and their field, right? You normally start in with your health and self-mastery, and that will lead into your nutrition, that will lead into exercising, that will do sleep, and that will also lead into your mental and emotional health as well. And once your health, right, is taken care of and you're addressing that, then I think the next one is normally finances that come into, relationships that come into play, and finances, and then from there even growing into business and things like that. So we're not at that point. We're talking about our sleep, right? We want to get that down and make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in that way. Sleep is self-care. Sleep is essential. Oh my God, sleep is so essential for proper function. Have you ever noticed the difference between sleeping 4 hours and 8 hours and how different you feel? I'm a completely different person when I have sleep. When I'm lacking sleep, I find myself to be very angry, very irritable, not quite as friendly or sociable. I find myself just not in the greatest state. However, when I get plenty of sleep, I notice that I'm lively, I'm energetic, I'm friendly, I want to talk to people, I'm smiling all the time, I see the best in life, and there's a complete difference. So I'm going to we introduce Shawn. I'm going to pull up this video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. The whole thing's about 4 minutes, excuse me. We're going to watch about a minute to a minute and a half. So let me switch us over. And this is The Complete Guide to High Performance, Fat Loss, and Lose Weight by Sleeping More.
Being able to perform at your highest level is having the physical health to do so, to actually feel fit and to feel healthy within your own body. And guess what? Sleep is the biggest component of that. And I've got the research to prove it. There was a study that was done recently at the University of Chicago, and they had individuals on a calorie-restricted diet, which is one of the common things I was taught to do in a university setting if I wanted to help somebody to lose weight. So they had them on this diet, and and their exercise program, and they monitored everything. During the first phase of the study, they allowed them to get 8.5 hours of sleep. Another phase of the study, they take the same people and now they sleep deprive them. They take away 3 hours of sleep and they're only getting 5.5 hours per night. Same exact diet, same exact exercise program. But at the end of the study, they found that they lost 55% more body fat when they were getting optimal sleep. Not exercising more, not cutting away more calories, simply sleeping more. And if you're sleeping more, there's going to be a chance that you're sleeping better. But as you'll learn today, it's not about the amount. It's not about the quantity. It's about the quality. The quantity does matter, but the quality is what really is the game changer. So quickly, what's happening behind?
So, with that being said, quantity isn't always the answer. And we know this as far as exercising goes. We know this as far as food goes. And now it's coming into sleep. It's coming into our lives through sleep. So what I'm going to show you, let me see if I can find it here. Yes, what I'm going to show you, and I'm going to send to you, right? We're going to have it sent to you, are different ways to get better sleep. In fact, it's 21. This has been hanging up in the reception of the gym for a while now, and if you haven't taken a look, feel free to take a look. I ask you to keep it there, but if you'd like a copy, I'm going to have the link in our email so that you can check it out. Now, this was also made by Sean Stevenson, and this was it's entitled The 21 Tips to Best Ever Sleep. And I'm going to turn the camera around here in just a second. And it's a great guide, and I think we're going to get a couple of things out of this, so check it out. You can read more of the tips of the best-selling book, Sleep Smarter, where we at right there, Sleep Smarter, and essential strategies to sleep way better so that your body and your health are a bigger success, right? So what's up, Pam? So know the value of your sleep, right? And here are 21 strategies to help you sleep better. Know the value of your sleep. High quality sleep fortifies your immune system. It balances your hormone and it boosts your metabolism and it increases energy and improves the function of your body with all the essential benefits and helps you to sleep even better, right? You want to get more sunlight during the day. Tip number 2, one of the most vital things that induces great sleep is the natural secretion of a hormone called melatonin. You might remember melatonin as a sleep aid. You may have heard of that before. And what you do is you take a couple of melatonins, like 1 to 3 milligrams, something like that, sometimes more depending on the person. And what that does is it causes you to produce your own hormone called melatonin, which allows you to sleep. However, if you spend max, right, or minimum 10 minutes of time outside a day and you get that sunlight, you're going to be able to produce that normal amount, right, naturally. Next up, you want to avoid the screen. It's likely number one thing that you can do to improve your sleep quality immediately. The artificial blue light emitted by your electric screen triggers your body to produce daytime hormones and disorient your body's natural preparation for sleep. If you want to give your body the deep sleep that it needs, make it a mandate to turn all the screens off an hour before bed. That's probably the hardest thing. I'm not even going to lie, y'all. That's probably the hardest thing. And the reason for that is because we're so addicted to our cell phones and to the TV and to the screen, right? So do your best to get an hour, to give yourself at least an hour, minimum 30 minutes to turn off the screen before bedtime. Next one is use a light blocker. You want to use a light blocker for an extenuating circumstances, so you can get an application or you can get the glasses that are going to get that blue light off of your screens. Caffeine curfew, nothing after 4 p.m., right? If you're really sensitive to caffeine, you might even want to do that sooner, but caffeine is going to be a killer when it comes to sleep, right? It's meant to keep you awake, so if you have that in the afternoon, especially if you're sensitive to it, it's going to keep you up longer in the night. Tip number 5 is be cool, right? The best temperature that we have that's ideal, the best temperature that's ideal for the body for sleep is 68 degrees, 68. When it's time for your body to rest, there's an automatic drop in your core temperature to help initiate sleep. If the temperature in your environment stays too high, then it can be a bit of a psychological challenge for your body to get into that state. So you see, not only is quality sleep important, but having your environment in a quality state is also going to be very important. Ooh, this one's a good one. Number 7 is get to bed at the right time. This is key. You can literally get amplified benefits of sleep by sleeping at the right hours. It's been shown that humans get most significant hormonal secretions and recovery by sleeping during the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is called money time. So you see, getting to bed on time as well is also important for hormone secretion. This isn't just about like mental clarity, y'all. This is about getting your body on track, right? The proper lifestyle, not just fat loss, but lifestyle. Use high quality magnesium. It's a bona fide anti-stress mineral, and it helps optimize circulation and blood pressure, balance blood sugar, relax tense muscles, and reduce pain in the calm in the nervous system. Remember, quality is everything. Make sure that when you choose supplements, that you choose supplements of high quality. And if you need help finding that, let me know. Blackout curtains. I love blackout curtains. It's well established that we sleep better in a dark environment. Any light can affect your body. Our skin absorbs light. So even if you have a small little light, it will affect your sleeping. I actually have in my room, I have a fire alarm, and I blotted out the light of the fire alarm because at night it provides so much light that it's hard for me to sleep because it gets in my eyes. So blotted that out. Blot out blackout curtains, and even put covers over the curtains that light shines. Create a sleep sanctuary. Stop making the bedroom entertainment hub of your house. Make your bedroom a sacred place where peace, calm, and relaxation are overflowing. When you walk into the sleep sanctuary, it's easy to peacefully drift off onto your dreams. Y'all, this is important, right? You want to establish certain places in your house, or certain rooms in your house as certain places. Does that make sense? You want to make sure, that as you do this, when you go into your bedroom, that it is associated with sleep. It's very easy to have it associated with TV or resting or, de-stressing, but have it associated with sleep. Have your kitchen associated with eating. Have your dining room associated with eating, and have your living room associated with doing whatever you do in the living room. If it's watching TV, then great. Next one, I swear it's right here. I'm going to even show you. Look. Boom, we're on number 11. Have an orgasm. Having an orgasm is like a full-on sedative for most people. There's a rush of relaxation, relaxing hormones and endorphins when you release, and it's just the thing to set you up for a great night's sleep, right? We're just going to leave it at that. We can understand. I don't need to go into the details of having one of those. Number 12, train hard but smart. Choose heavier weights over long cardio. You recruit more calories when you use heavier weight. You use proper technique, but when you recruit more muscle, you burn more energy. When you burn more energy, guess what you end up doing? You burn more calories. Get your friends out of your room. Remove electronics, laptops, TV, cell phones. Get it out of your bedroom. Use an alarm clock. I find this to be one of the harder things, especially for me, right? I still use my cell phone, but let's go old school. Let's use an alarm clock. Having that blue screen in there, having the cell phone emitting Wi-Fi rays and the cellular data that you use, it affects you, believe it or not. Like, there are studies that are done to show how cell phones affect the human body, and we don't want that in there to affect your own brain waves and to affect your chemistry while you're sleeping. No glove, no love for your feet. Even though the room temperature would ideally be cooler to induce great sleep, if your hands and feet are too cold, it can be a sign of poor circulation. So if you need it, if you have poor circulation, then wear a pair of gloves or warm socks to bed. You booze, you lose. Those studies prove alcohol helps you fall asleep faster. The bad news is that REM sleep is significantly disrupted by alcohol being in your system. You won't be able to fall into deeper levels of sleep, and your brain and your body won't be able to fully rejuvenate. This is why people don't feel great after waking up from alcohol-laced sleep. Drinking is great for falling asleep, but it's not great for staying asleep and getting the quality that you need in order to sleep deep enough to recover. Get your sleep. Don't drink before you sleep. Or here's a better one. If you love to have a glass of wine or a glass of scotch, whatever it might be, try to limit yourself to one serving, right? Being drunk or wasted, right, isn't going to allow you to sleep with that deep quality sleep. Calm your inner chatter with meditation or journal, right? I love this. I'm a huge journaling advocate. I'm a huge mindset and meditation person. I love to meditate. It calms me down. You can really learn to control your thoughts, and you can really learn to respond to yourself as you meditate. It's not necessarily about getting rid of the bad things, right? Getting rid of the stress, but learning how to deal with the stress in a positive way. And meditating will help you do that. Supplementation, you can use a variety of different supplements. You'll see on the document the different ones. You can have blue light blocking glasses that we talked about. Number 20 is be early to rise. By waking up early, you start the process of helping your endocrine system link up with the diurnal patterns of the earth. Get up when the sun rises. Have you ever gone camping, maybe left your cell phones away, and after a couple of days of camping, you notice that you rise with the sun and you start to fall asleep when the sun goes down? What happens is our internal clock, after just a few days, tunes in with the sun, and we naturally rise and sleep with the sun, right? Because the sun gives us energy. Now here's the interesting thing. Because of artificial light, that our sleep patterns are skewed, and it just naturally happens. It's today's world. However, right, if you are one to rise with the sun and sleep with the sun, sleep when it sets, you're going to start functioning at a higher level as well. If that's possible for your life, allow waking up early to happen. And get grounded. Well, it appears that the Earth's electromagnetic surface has the ability to sync with your body's internal clock. This is a study, I think there's only been one so far, that says walking around barefoot can actually exchange the electrons that you have with that of the Earth, and it helps to ground you. I haven't read the study myself. It's been mentioned in several different articles that I've read. However, if this is true, you can knock two birds out with one stone, getting your 10 minutes outside and being barefoot in the grass. I think not only does that affect the body's chemistry, but it may bring you back into a distant memory of being a kid and being in an enjoyable spot where you're running around and you don't have any worries or any responsibility. And just going back in those memories for a brief time is such a relief from stress that it can just help you feel better all throughout the day, and it gives you a better quality of life because you're taking time out to relax and to remember things that were important to you, right? And you're getting that sunlight, you're producing the vitamin D, like you're giving yourself a lot of self-care. Well, that's the end of the tips. Those were 21 tips to get better sleep. So with that being said, what are your action steps? I would love to see us get more sleep in this next week. The idea is to get at least 8 hours, and if that's possible, right? If that's not, get the most that you can. So how do you end up doing that? Well, what's your wake-up time? Is it 6 a.m.? Is it 5 a.m.? Is it 7? Whatever time it may be, reverse engineer this. If you wake up at 8 a.m. every day, at least go to bed by midnight, if not earlier. If you go to bed at 7, then 11. If you wake up at 6, then 5, etc., right? You want to try to get at least 8 hours. Now, with that being said, right, we've reversed engineer it, so that means that we want to go to bed. Let's say we wake up at, it seems like 6 o'clock would probably be a pretty normal time for us. So if we were to wake up at 6, we want to go to bed at least by 10. So what does that mean? That we want to turn our screens off by at least 9 o'clock. So by 9 o'clock, no more TV, no more cell phones, no more computer. You can take time to read, to journal, to shower, to brush your teeth, whatever it might be. Use that last hour, that 9 o'clock, in order to start winding down. With that being said, you can check off a few things on this list. Turn your AC on so that it's around 68, 69 degrees. Take a shower so that you can unwind. Meditate maybe while you're in the bath, right? Use essential oils, use Epsom salt bath to help yourself recover. Brush your teeth, do whatever proper hygiene that you want to do before you go to bed. When you're in bed, make your bed before either that morning or before you go to bed. And if you're the type of person to pray, pray. If you journal. If you read. That will give you plenty enough time to be in bed by 9:45, 10 o'clock, and to have 8 hours. Now, is this going to be easy? I don't think so. I think it's going to be difficult, honestly, especially if you're not used to this. It's going to be a new habit that we're looking to integrate into your life. So, with that being said, be patient with yourself. Give yourself the time that you need in order to make these changes, especially if these are changes that you want to make. Like getting to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, at first it's difficult. And then I've been told, people start getting the itch. Man, I missed working out this week, they say. I can't believe it. It's become part of my routine. And that's what we want to do, is make this part of your routine. It's said that it takes 21 days to make a habit. On average, to keep that habit as a lifelong process, it takes 66 days. Humans, people in today's society, we have trouble sticking with things for 1 week. It's going to take some work, right? That's okay. Be patient with yourself. Develop those skills. I'm here for the accountability. Let's get some sleep this week. I'll be checking in. We'll have a few little homework assignments. We did it this past week. I wanted to give you a break. This week, we're diving in. So, ladies and gentlemen, drop me a line below if you're watching the replay. If you're watching this on YouTube or through the email, send me an email. Tell me what you thought. I'd love your feedback, and I'd love to know what you did this week, what you did this week to get better sleep. All right, y'all. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. You're unstoppable, and we'll talk soon.